They posted a rather mixed quarter, improvement in some margins. The key positive really was the new media growth that in fact did come in high by more than 40%. We're currently joined by the whole-time director and the CFO of the company, Mr. Hiren Gada. Thanks so much, Hiren, for joining in today. Well, wanted to focus on your new media business. So there the revenues, yes, they've grown by around 40%. Give us a sense of what margins you're enjoying over there. Till when can we maintain this kind of growth rate, 40-50%?
Good morning, Nigel. I think given the overall conditions that were prevailing in this quarter, I think we are quite satisfied with the overall performance. New media continues to grow and in fact at 40%, it's in fact a little below earlier quarters, but still, as I said, given overall circumstances, I think we are quite satisfied with it. In terms of the margin for the new media, as we have said earlier, that the overall EBITDA margin of new media is slightly higher than the company average.
Okay. Hiren, we've seen quite a slowdown in your traditional media revenues. Your Q1 revenue growth in traditional media was 16.7%. In Q2, it came down to 13.9%, and now in Q3, it's down to 5.7%. If you could tell us, what's going wrong, what's the reason for the slowdown in your traditional media revenues, and should we expect a pickup?
Yeah. So basically, the key business in the traditional media is syndicating films to the broadcasters, and as we are all aware of, what happened in this last quarter, where there was a tremendous ad slowdown that the overall broadcast sector faced. So because of which, even there was a slight demand slowdown that we also saw, and so hopefully with demonetization kind of behind us, and ad revenues and ad fills picking up for the broadcast sector, I think we should be back probably by the end of this current quarter.
To what levels?
So as we've discussed earlier, that the traditional media overall sector is growing at roughly about 10 to 12%, and we hope to, our target has always been marginally higher than that growth. So in that sense, traditional media for us, we would be happy if we could do an annual growth rate of around 14%.
All right, Hiren, very quickly, every time we speak, you talk about some tie-ups with international distribution channels. Anything's happened on that front? Has there been, any kind of movement on that front? Could you give us some timeline as well over there?
So we, this quarter, we did a content syndication licensing tie-up with ViewClip, which is a platform owned by PCCW of Hong Kong. Secondly, on the DTH front, we've launched quite a few services, 2 on Tata Sky and 2 on Dish TV. So we continue to roll out more and more services, as well as getting into more and more tie-ups. In fact, this quarter our YouTube views have spiked by about 70+%. So we've moved from doing about 4.5 million views a day to about 8 million views a day actually in this quarter.
Okay, Hiren, good to know that. Thanks again for joining.